Okay. Let's see how this goes. And nobody here yet, so wait a second if I can still find the previous stream. That's the wrong one. Okay. Sorry for that. That was the first time this crashed. I hope it won't happen again. If it does, then probably I will just do it with the standard YouTube thing. Then we don't have this fantastic bar here. And the bim bim. O hisashiburi, Yohanes says, Ario gono. Gono. O hisashiburi desu. Thank you for being here. Terrible video quality. No, why? It must not be. And yes, there was a powerful donation, Aminox. It was too much to handle. Probably because it's euros and it had to translate it to dollars, then it was like boom, crash, over. And I also couldn't I didn't have the other stream open, so I couldn't post the link of this one in the other one. So I hope the people will realize and come there. Okay, everybody else's video looks great, John. So I hope it will recover for you as well. How's Australia now? I have no idea actually. I'm not following a lot. Is it fine for you over there right now? Are you also expecting Christmas to be increased numbers over Christmas? By the way, in Japan it's great right now. Here we have like 120 cases a day or so. Little on the rise recently from like 90 cases a day or something. Yeah, 100 cases a day, and then recently it was 2 days ago we had 154, and yesterday 136. But of course, compared to everywhere else, almost it's a dream here right now. So as I mentioned, I can even go training. I have to wear a mask while doing that, which is kind of tough to get air in, but other than that, pretty nice. Aminox promised to never donate again. No, you promised to never crash the stream again. And I think it's part of debugging and making it more robust that we repeat this process. And he's watching via ultra mega uber crappy German hotel Wi-Fi. Nice. Absolutely. German COVID charts are off the charts bad. Quite surprised, yes. Very cool weather this week for John, but getting warmer, okay. Very wet, and he has been very wet, okay. And spent a lot of time mowing my 5 acres. Wow. 5 acres or 2 hectares, okay. Okay, nice. So now let me introduce you to my new camera. So I made maybe if you have seen my German channel, do you watch football? Do you mean soccer, as in football, the English? Maybe yes, no, not really. I don't make an effort to watch it. When I was in Germany, I would every now and then. But now, because when they play in Germany, it's night here, so I don't essentially watch it. But when I was younger, yeah, I used to. So I was Bayern Munich fan because I'm from Munich area. And yeah, sometimes I would go to the stadium, but not very frequently. So kind of, yeah, sometimes. How these cases compare per capita Daniel Wonders, some of our states have 1,000 per day. Yeah. I mean, Japan is 120 million-ish people, and then you can calculate that. And Germany has 80. I think Germany. So in Germany, we have like incident rate, which is how many infections per 100,000 people in the last 7 days. And right now it's around 400 or so, which is extremely high on average. Probably 400-ish. Yeah, but in August and so on, July, August, it was pretty good in Germany. Should have gone there at that time, but well. So if you have seen my German channel, for the last 4 weeks, I put out 1 video a week. And I do that because it's like a little bit like a Japanese journey in the beginning. Very fast, very easy to shoot, easy to edit videos. So one location, set up the camera, shoot it. When it's not perfect, that's fine. And then make another one. And edit takes 1 day and not more. And for that, I have this. That's my German video setup thing. Not very complicated, so very small. That's the deciding factor here. And inside we have, inside of this Peak Design Pocket thing, we have the Sony ZV-1, which is this kind of camera. The battery is empty, that's why you don't see yourself now. Yeah, and it's small, it's very lightweight, of course, still capable for its size, easy to use. It's made for video recording, as you can see by this here. And there's also here the big video recording button here. And it can connect external audio. So actually I never use this because this is not good enough. That's not, yeah, that's terrible. And the autofocus is very good. So this camera, this is my bigger camera, has, of course, superior image quality, but the the autofocus is not usable. So if you want to shoot with this one, then you have to set it up properly. Then you have, if you're like now, I can set autofocus by touching the screen, but if I'm further away, I need to use my phone, connect to it, and then set it and so on. So it takes a lot of time. Yeah, now you can see this camera. This is you from my perspective. And yeah, so this camera is in there. Then I have, unfortunately, it is not very wide. So if I do like vloggy style, then it's not the greatest. So I have a kind of adapter lens, which I put on top of here. And then it gets a little wider. It's also in there. And because I cannot hold the camera the whole time, because it's not, like, nobody watches that, it's painful to watch, I also have a very small tripod, just this size, here, blub, 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 like this. And on top of that, I put a small selfie stick. And then I get to like a little higher, not like eye level, but better than putting it on the floor. And then on top of that goes this kind of head. And that's all in this bag. And that's pretty nice. And of course I also have a lavalier mic, because, as I said, this audio is not usable. And then I make very quick videos for the German channel. Probably I will also use this more for the Japanese journey channel. Especially if I like climb a mountain or so. Then I'm exhausted enough by the climb, and I don't need to set up the camera every time again. It would be too much. All right, then. Mohammed Rashid Imran, nice to see you back. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And then John says the block of land is 200 on 100 meters. Okay. One of your German videos had an auto-translate option to English, but not the others. Why the difference? I have no idea. I didn't do anything. So I guess, I don't know, YouTube thought it was a good idea from this one. Or I don't know, maybe it had enough views, like 100 or something. I mean, the channel is so small. It has like, what, 70 subscribers? And the video gets between 50 and 100 views. So it's like, yeah. Then Germany has about 60,000 new infected people daily and about 500 COVID deaths daily these days. Yeah. Yeah. Germany. It's a pretty interesting camera indeed. The dead cat built in. Yeah, it's not really built in. So it has a hot shoe here. And then, so this one here, that's a shoe. It can be cold or hot. Hot means it has a connection here, and this one has. And then on the shoe comes this. Here's the mic, and on the shoe comes this. And then it's over there on top of that. Probably I don't really need that, but just in case I have it there. Maybe I should just keep it separate. Bring on the selfie grip. Yes. Oh, and John just discovered the quality problem had dropped down to only 144p. No. I hope you at least you can hear me well. You didn't get the selfie grip with integrated remote function for the camera. No. Why would I? I mean, I don't see any use case for that. First of all, probably it wouldn't fit in here anymore. And then, yeah, why would I? Yeah, I don't see. I mean, you can use it to. So for those who don't know, for this camera, you can have like a selfie stick, I think, attached to it, and it's a little long, which is also a small tripod, and then also has a record button. And you can use it as a remote, I think, as well. But still, like if I want to remote control it, I still have to put it on the floor, and then I can also just press the button. So I didn't really see the use case for me. Yeah. If it had something like a screen where I can monitor myself, that would be nice, but. Cadogan, hey. Hello. Does the camera have the G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip? What? Maybe? Yeah. And with the German videos, I don't do a lot of fancy stuff. Like if something is missing, if something is not good enough, it just doesn't get into the video. If I don't reshoot it, if there's not B-roll, like to exemplify what I'm talking about, then it's just not there. And if it's not perfect, then it's not perfect. Like one day, it needs to be done in one day, and then that's it. So kind of the opposite approach I take with this channel. Like done is better than perfect, and that's it. Release it. And then of course, depending on how this goes, I will consider if I do this here as well. But the videos, as I said, are quite simple, like a hotel room tour. That's quite easy to do because it's just one room, show a couple of things, take a couple of shots, and that's it. And yeah. Can you talk about Ikigai? I don't know what it is, so I have to Google that now. So probably not. Ah, I see. Like the intersection of what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you're good at. I think I heard that before. Yeah, that's certainly good. And I'm kind of thinking about that as well. Like what you love and what the world needs, especially. And you can get good at things. And there's always somebody better, so that's kind of subjective, I feel. So as long as you love it, then you will get good at it if you do that. And then of course pay here. Either you get paid for it or you have you don't need it. You're rich already or have very low costs. Or you have some other way, some other income, like maybe you ikigai for 2 days of the week or 4 days of the week and you work for 3 days. Yeah, that's how I look at it right now. And for me personally, so my Aikido is probably my ikigai, but I don't want to do that for money. I think that does not suit, is not suited, because then I'm afraid it will not be, then the love goes away maybe, or the passion. And especially now in Corona. So Aikido is a martial art where there's a lot of contact. So the other person goes very close. And then in Corona, of course, it doesn't work so well. So I had quite some break now, and I did some like body weight workouts and got running and so on. And now when I got back into training, it's just all not comparable. It's, for me, Aikido is just perfect. So I feel like that's that. And I think also it's in direction what the world needs. Yeah. And if I'm good at that, I don't know. Of course, I train to get better to some extent. But yeah. And as I said, payment is not there, so probably it's not ikigai. It's, maybe passion mission or something. And of course, YouTube would be another option. Depending on what kind of content you do, that could be ikigai. And my day job, software engineering, is sometimes I feel like it could be. So I enjoy making things, so that's why building stuff, creating and so on. So like YouTube videos and also of course software. So that's there. If the app I'm working on right now is really what the world needs, not so sure. I think I'm good at that, and I can certainly be paid for it. Love, yeah, sometimes. Depends on my bosses and so on. In the US, there was an action figure several decades ago that advertised a kung fu grip. Oh. It's like the toy every kid wanted at the time. Oh, I see. Educational here. The best thing about your German channel is that you can recycle content, like the Japanese toilet take 2 video. Indeed, I can recycle and like put what I've learned in the 5 years since I made this video the first time into action. And yeah, actually I'm thinking about making a love hotel video, because that's my most popular video on this channel, and the toilet is the second most popular. So maybe, who knows, maybe this will come at some point. Then John says, have you used the microwave and washing machine in your Shinjuku hotel room? No. I just stayed for one night, and I took the video of the room, then I went out eating in a bar in Shinjuku. Eating in a bar, yeah. I was looking for pizza and found this place, and there were like 4 other people in there also. And it was fun. I turned out to be the last customer leaving. Very small, probably half the size of this room or so. And one guy behind, one bartender, and that's it. No other people there, working there. Then it says, an interesting idea, especially if you have more voiceover on your videos. It's a matter of just recording a new speech. Haha, yeah. I'm thinking about maybe one of for the Narai video, I made 5 interviews, and maybe take the best one, cut this down a little bit, and give it some new spin for the German channel also. Maybe not. And then not even voiceover, but just changing the translation. Start Iaido. Iaido. Yeah, I did the Iaido in the 0 years. So my teacher also taught Iaido. But I never really enjoyed it. Maybe I don't do it long enough to enjoy it. Probably should have. Yeah. Sometimes I still do a little bit. Of course, Aikido also has Ken sword. And we also have an Iaito. That's the that's the katana that cannot be sharpened for training. Yeah, but I've never really done it to the extent that I would. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe one day. Maybe if I found an interesting teacher. So Aminox got promoted since the last live stream. Nice. He's now a senior. So you're old now. Is that what he's saying? But I think they just want to call me old constantly. There we go. That old rascal Aminox. Hotel no namae wa nan desu ka? The previous one, what was that? Tokyu Shinjuku East Side. I also now I linked it in the video as well. Somebody asked, and I should have done that. So it should be there in the description now. Not to my face, at least. Okay, says Daniel. All right. So just me then. Daniel the senior. Not Daniel the senior. Aminox the senior. Sorry. By the way, Ohayo Saru. I met Senpai yesterday, and we talked about you and how you gave me your drone, which is very helpful. Okay, now I will have the first one of these. Here. So the coating has a little crunch. Okay, I cannot see, it's not in focus. No. That's nice. Marzipan, yes. John stayed in Tokyo Stay Suidobashi. How was it? Because I think this was the only Tokyo Stay I've stayed in so far. You're most welcome, Ohayo Saru. Marzipan, why is your hairline so crucified here? Yeah, you know, age. Stress and all that. Kids. Gave you the drone, so you already have one. He lent me the drone. So my assumption is once this goal is reached, I will give it back to him. Yeah. Christina is here. And I don't understand what it means. Please let me know. Then Yang says, hi Yang, good to have you here. Maybe first time? Eh? I don't know, Stefan, if I should translate this and if you're serious, but if so, I don't know if I should be sad for you or not, but. Creeper was found. Subka Daddy says, Moshi Moshi YouTube. Sama, why did you remove the dislike button? Yeah, god damn it. Hotel was good, says John. Ari at Night reminded me of the film Blade Runner. Do you know that film? I know of the film, but I haven't seen it. Let me open the live stream stuff. Okay. Maybe I should watch it one day, and then also the other one, the second one. Yeah, but there are so many things I should watch maybe, but in the end I don't. What else should we talk about? Let me check my notes, because I took some back then. Let's see. There are a couple of things I don't like about having an iPhone. Like the bugs. Sometimes the lock screen cannot be unlocked and so on, and then I mean, maybe it's a YouTube bug, or I don't, or maybe it's how iOS handles swipe gestures, but sometimes it's, yeah, anyway. Okay, wait. Oh yeah. Speaking of drone, in the video I published two videos back, my favorite place in Japan. They were the first drone shots ever on the channel. So thanks to the kind, not donation, but like to Ohio Saru kindly lending me his drone. Then let's see. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Finally, so I have been living in Japan for a little bit more than 5 years now, but I had a company in Germany. And if you have a company in Germany, then you are still something like, roughly translated, a limited taxpayer. So I have to still fill out tax forms for Germany because the company exists. It doesn't make money, but still, so I can write 0 everywhere and I don't have to pay, but I have to fill it out. I have to send it there, and it's annoying. And now finally the company has been liquidated and I don't have to pay or don't have to do any tax work anymore for Germany. Finally. I mean, and in Japan, the good thing is, because I'm married, my wife does that. So that's one of the good points of living in Japan for me. Finally. All right. We need to give Johannes homework on watching movies. Yeah. Yeah, probably I get old or something. And when I scroll Netflix, then I'm like, this doesn't sound promising. Okay, let's watch this movie I already know, because I know it's good. Maybe that's when you're in your 30s or mid 30s, then maybe you become like that, who knows. And then, yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm back to the office. And this means we will have a day in the life of a software engineer, Tokyo version. So essentially me going to the office in Tokyo and stuff. And I have the rough cut, so yeah, it will be a next video or the one after that probably. Then Manish Pradhan says, can I travel to Japan solo with no Japanese? Generally, yes. That shouldn't be a problem, I think. I mean, of course you run into issues now and then, but Um, hmm, generally, I think it's fine, especially if you're like in the touristy areas like Tokyo, Kyoto, and so on. And I said generally it's okay because right now, of course, nobody can travel to Japan. Or you can travel to Japan, but then they will not let you in. Daniel says he's in his mid-30s and he does the same thing. All right, then it's that maybe. Doesn't watch a ton of new movies because I don't want to waste my time with something that isn't good. Yes. And then it's usually like you get recommendations of somebody you trust to have a similar understanding, and then I would watch something or so. Does your company pay for trips to Tokyo and hotel? Yeah. There's a maximum, which covers about two of the 4 trips I take, and they don't pay the hotel. That's why I have to look for cheap ones. So last time, the last one I had was like 7,000 something yen. And yesterday I stayed at another one for 5,400 or so, which is, or what's that in euro? €42. What a great number. And in dollars, probably like 50 or so. Let's see. 47. And since John is here, 66 Australian dollars. And Ohio Saru says, "Daijoubu da yo?" The damn 7th year. I see. We are not there yet. We have been married for 5 years now. So not yet. Let's see. I mean, maybe you can make it work. Maybe you can go get a drink in Tokyo or so when I'm there again. Yang says, okay, the world has gotten used to Corona and we have accepted it as part of our normal life. Is there any new update on how people's lives are now after the vaccine rollout? In Japan, I think nothing changed really. It's still, of course, right now the numbers are low. The Corona numbers are low, the vaccination numbers are high. And that means it's more or less okay now. Everybody still wears a mask everywhere, even outside for the most part. But I mean, in Japan, of course, people already wore masks before Corona, so I guess that's kind of playing a role in that. We have now 77.8% who are vaccinated, and booster shots not rolling out yet. Not yet. 79.5% who had 1 shot or more. So it's looking pretty good. Better than Germany. 66 dollars Australian is very cheap for a hotel. Impossible to get a hotel room in Australia for that amount. Okay, well then. And this was in Shinjuku, so was a good one actually. I was surprised it looked that good. Good luck, says Ohio Saru. Okay. Thanks. We'll see. So far, thankfully, now I'm talking about marriage again. So far, thankfully, my interest, at least from my side, in my wife has not changed. So it's still exciting and I don't feel like, oh God, now this boring life or something. 66 is low for the US too. I am not even sure if cheaper motels are that cheap here. Wow. Maybe the ones that charge by 4 hours. Yeah, we have these here as well. The rest options. Let me have another one. Let's see. This one here. If that's not great content, then nothing is. Video idea for me. I'm now used to having constantly confirm I'm listening. Hi, so desu ka? Ne, ne, My mom visited me here, and we were, I think, in Matsumoto or so, and we were eating in a restaurant, and some people were talking, and so one people actively talking and the other one listening. In Japan, then you do this confirmation, and he's like, and so on, and she's like, Johannes, he's making funny noises. Yeah, so we have that. Okay. Japan style. Imagine how much I'm offending the German colleagues by constantly interrupting them. I get it. Yeah. What can I say? By the way, will you stay long in Cuxhaven? How common is marzipan outside of Christmas time in Germany? I think not so much. If I remember correctly, that's the time when it's rolled out. I mean, you have this kind of stuff, chocolate covered and so on, but we call it marzipan potatoes, the balls, and bread, the longer chocolate covered thing. That's a Christmas thing, I think. And last year I got like 10 packages or so. But since I didn't eat sugar, most of them were like due date and then that's it. Because you can't feed your kids just sugar stuff. Okay. Do you also do the Japanese nod? It looks like agreement when they are talking, but really just means you're understanding them. Probably. Of course, also when talking on the phone. And then something I didn't know for the longest time is you cannot just hang up. Like you talk to somebody and then you say, okay, thanks, and hang up. There needs to be a space because you're phoning, and then you, hi, shitsureshimasu, and then you bow to the phone one more time and then you hang up. So there needs to be the space. Otherwise, the other person is like, what's going on? That was too fast. Japan. But yeah, also that. And I also see sometimes like that maybe confirming exactly this, confirming that you have understood what's said is mistaken for confirmation of what the other side wants to have confirmed. So I understood as a yes. That's, yeah. That happens to me at work sometimes when I work with colleagues from overseas. 4 months in Cuxhaven and Bremerhaven, then a trip home to Denmark to visit family, then he will hopefully be allowed to return to Sapporo. I see. So pretty extended time in Europe. Nice. You just can't hang up. A, you hang up. B, no, you hang up. And so on. Yeah, that's maybe more like a couple thing or so. I don't know how that is in Japan. But usually my wife's quite quick to hang up with me. And also my kids. Well, especially the younger one likes to hit the red button. Ooh. Okay, let me see what else I had on my list. So then, is that all that? Oh yeah, we had this also. I sure don't like to spend time on the phone. Yeah, for me, I never felt comfortable phoning somebody, especially people I don't know. But these days, of course, when I can't see my family in person, then it's nice to be able to call them on WhatsApp line or whatever. I know this is a very strange question, but have you ever met the Yakuza or seen them? I've seen some, but never had interactions with them. Here one time at a 7-Eleven, I think it was, I saw one. Because he was missing parts of his pinky. And then it was in summer and he had a shirt that was until here. And then you could also see a little bit of the tattoo. So that was most certainly a Yakuza. But I've never, yeah, like I said, never met anybody or like had any confrontation or conversation even with somebody. But I know a guy who says he knows a couple. So maybe he could introduce me or so, but I'm not really keen. My Aikido teacher had some friends from the Yakuza. Okay, I believe Ikebukuro is a Yakuza area. Is that true? Oh, I didn't know. I don't know. I think it's a little dirtier, maybe, for Tokyo, for Japanese standards. And, but I don't know. I mean, I've been there today, but I haven't seen any, or at least I didn't notice. Who knows, maybe there's one. By the way, does anybody of you do Lego? Build Legos sometimes? Do you have kids? Or are you interested yourself? Because, so there is, in Germany, there's a company that is making not Legos, but this kind of, same format bricks, but not with the Lego trademark, but their own, called Blue Bricks. And they have, they made a castle. And it's usually not available. It became available, so I bought it and had it shipped here. And it's like more than 5,000 pieces and took me 2 weeks to build. And every day my son would come and like, what's the progress? And then I finished and we never play with it anymore. It's just standing there. But well, that's that. And Daniel says, I know someone who would say, I've already been on the phone long enough, bye. Or too long, bye. Yeah, well, these people. Yeah, indeed, how rude, how rude. It may feel a little bit rough, I feel. But well, to each their own. Then let me check this phone, because I also took some notes here. How long before Godzilla-chan runs through it? Ikebukuro? Yeah. Godzilla. There is one in Kabukicho. There's, I think, a cinema or so where there's one at the top. But it's a small one. It's not big enough to destroy a city. Tokyo looks pretty great given how many times Godzilla has destroyed it. Okay. Whenever I use this phone, my old one, I realize how slow it was. Not super slow, but still have some to-dos here. Okay. All right. Okay. We had a photo shoot in Japan when your son gets 7 or 5, or your daughter gets 7 or 3, then you make a photo shoot usually, and there's a little bit of ceremony or so. Shichigo-san is that's called. And my son got 5, so we went to like photo shoots or family, kimono, and then pictures. That was fun. I like that every time that happens. It doesn't happen a lot, but I enjoy it. And then we also went to the big temple here with him and dressed up and so on. So that was good. Do you feel like Japan is getting back to normal? It seems like we are never going to going back to normal here. No, I don't think so here neither. I mean, it's still, for example, my company does not allow nomikai or getting together after work. I don't know if they really can do that, but generally we shouldn't do that because there is a lot of infections happening in these areas. And also when I go through Tokyo at night, then I often see lots of people cramped in izakayas like bars and so on, very close together. And obviously that's a risk, cluster risk. So back to normal, I don't know. I think it's a lot more getting used to living with it. We also had some virology experts in the company early this year. And they said, yeah, it takes about 5 years probably, and then it will be something that is similar to the flu. Tobita certainly is a Yakuza area. Tobita. Didn't know that exists. Aminox says, I've seen how quickly Japan rebuilds and renovates after earthquakes 40 times a year. That's true. Godzilla destroying Tokyo is just Tuesday there. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Tokyo is pretty damn big. So it's, even for Godzilla, I think it's quite hard to make an impact in the grand scale of things. So yes, true. What else did I write? No. Oh God, so many old memories. We went to, where did we go? Maybe Shinanomachi or so, someplace a little further from here. And they have a nice park, so we went there. And on the way back, I found a place that sells sausages. And as a German, one of the association many people have is sausages and beer. So I went there and bought like hot salami. It was terrible. So it wasn't great from the taste, and for some reason they also wrapped it in a very dense plastic net, which is almost not possible to remove. So either you eat plastic or you don't eat it. So I don't like that. FYI. I think in the last stream we still had state of emergency according to this note. Who knew? And then, okay, let me see. There was a message, but it has been retracted. Okay, so then let me continue. We had Undokai. So Undokai is kind of sports day or so. So the kids at the kindergarten or so, they make kind of sport, not really celebration, sport game maybe. So there's a couple of programs, and then they show something. That was fun. Most for the biggest part, I took a video. I enjoy that. Family videos, very fun. Yeah, that's that. That's all my notes essentially. The other ones on what I don't like about iPhone. The screen is certainly better. So this one looks, compared to the Android one, yeah, it's almost no comparison. It is a comparison, but yeah, it looks great, I think. The ecosystem is of course there, so it's tighter integrated, for example, with Apple computers. And the navigation is not so great, I feel, compared to Android. Android definitely superior. Cinematic mode on the camera is unusable at the moment, I think. Like if you want to have something cinematic, then you certainly don't use that anyway. So why have it? And it's not really, it's like a 50-50 chance maybe, and that's not high enough. What's the status on the merchandise plans? No update. Today I met another YouTuber from Germany. He's called Mr. Nippon, and he just yesterday relaunched his merchandise. So before he did like the drop shipping kind of like you print it somewhere and they send it, so kind of thing. And now he changed to like more sustainable, and for every order they also plant a tree and so on. So I like that direction. But generally, yeah, no progress. No progress. Of course, today I thought about it again, and I would like to do something that's sustainable and maybe still has some kind of profit eventually for the channel. But right now, no big update. Yang says, it is amazing how efficient Japan is. Yeah, in many areas. But there are certainly also areas where it's like, oh my god, you're using a fax? Or where was that? I think there was something for work or so, and then you have to fax something. One time I ordered on Amazon. Maybe that's, I don't know where it's at. I have never done this outside of Japan. I ordered on Amazon, and my name is misspelled on my company's credit card. And so it didn't work, and they had to, I think, fax them my credit card. Was a credit card or passport, or I don't know. There's some information I had to fax to them. Which was like, what? What's that? And how do you use this device? Danny Panic says to Alminox, he's waiting for Japanese Journey Noden curtain to put over the entrance of my izakaya. Oh, Noden would be nice. Noden would be nice. I had Noden in my previous home. Maybe it's still somewhere. Do we have it here somewhere? Oh yeah, there is one at the window. Yeah, certainly. That would be nice. I would have to have some Japanese Journey crest, the samurai. When you wear a yukata, so then usually there's a crest or a family crest on there if the family has one. So something like this, but for Japanese Journey, and then like very subtle on the Noden or so, or very big. For those who don't know, Noden is the curtain you often see over entrances and so on. And usually if the Noden is out, then the shop is open. New video, how to learn to love your Apple iPhone in one easy step. I don't know if that's possible. 1, buy a BlackBerry. 2, throw BlackBerry away and appreciate functionality of the iPhone. Yes, that's true. That should work. Does BlackBerry still exist? Maybe they make Android phones now. I think they did. I think they made some Android phone with a keyboard or so. Yeah, BlackBerry. I was at the Mobile World Congress in 2010. There was when was that? February or so? And BlackBerry invited us to an event in Camp Nou. That's the stadium of FC Barcelona. And at the time, Google understood that in order to be successful, they have to have developers to make apps. So they gave away phones to developers. You went to a Google event, for example, at this conference, there were like 8 maybe or so Google events in a row. And anybody who attended one of these got a Nexus 1 and yet to be released Android device. So when we went to this BlackBerry event, we were like, yeah, nice, okay. And there was some manager and said blah blah blah, and then later we have some surprise, and we are like, do we get phones? And he's like, yeah, and we're like, okay, you lost. But because back then they were at their height, so obviously they rented Camp Nou, and there was the Champions League Cup standing there protected by a guard next to it, but I still was able to touch it. And then we had a stadium tour and so on. But we didn't get a phone, which was very disappointing, and that's why we did not do anything for BlackBerry. And then it went downhill for them. And that's exactly why, in my opinion. And another time was just when Nokia decided they would team up with Microsoft. When Eric Schmidt, who was then CEO of Google, said, if you put two turkeys together, that doesn't make an eagle. And I was at another conference, and some Nokia guy spoke about the strategy, and then one of my friends asked him, okay, so why don't you do Android? He's like, I don't know. Yeah. History teaches lessons. A lesson to all companies: give Johannes the free stuff if you want to survive. Yes, exactly. But only the good one, the one that I can sell. I have a Pixel, says Daniel. Before that, I had a Nexus 5. I liked the Google ones. I even installed Ubuntu Mobile onto that old Nexus 5. I once installed Android on my old iPhone 3G. I have a Nexus 5 over there as well. I had in the Nexus series, I had the one, the Galaxy Nexus and the Nexus 5. And then I switched to OnePlus, where I had the 3 and the 6. So usually a phone I would get every 2 or 3 years or so not every year or something. And before the Nexus 1, I had the Motorola Droid. In Europe, it was Milestone, because Star Wars has marketing rights or trademark rights on Droid in Europe. And this was stolen when I went to Barcelona, actually. So I was quite happy to get a new phone from Google. And before that, I had the Nexus, I had a T-Mobile HTC Dream, a T-Mobile G1, the first Android phone. But this was given to me by a friend, and so it was not, I did not own it. Joe Smith is all about Apple. Yeah, whatever works for you, I think. I also have an Apple right now, for the first time ever. So Android for 12 years and now Apple for 2 months. And I think it's essentially there's almost no difference. Of course, for Android, you always have the risk, if you don't get a Pixel or so, or a OnePlus that's very close to vanilla Android, that they put their crap on there, like the Samsung putting their own software on top of the yeah, verschlimmbessern is what we say in Germany. You try to make it better, but actually you make it worse. Daniel's last wear, the current one, is Pixel 3 XL, then Pixel 1 XL, and thinks he will wait for Pixel 7 2022. Okay. Yeah, let's see how good Google gets with their own silicon, and maybe they can make something nice. Yang is in his or her final year and focusing on becoming a software engineer. Let me ask, what language do you use mostly? You mean programming language? I mean, depends what you do, right? Since I'm very Android focused, I do Kotlin, but now I'm leading an iOS team, so Swift is also, of course, interesting, but it's also very close to Kotlin, so you understand both probably. Also, although they are different, quite different actually. But you can read it. That's all I need right now. Daniel doesn't want the extra software, which is why I buy the Google ones. Yeah, exactly. Right. This kind of crap that they put on top and it's getting slow and yeah, not so great. So these are okay, I think. The OnePluses, they have some on top, but very few and actually making sense, I think, mostly. Ede, hey! Weren't you in Ein Ticket zur Milchstraße's livestream before? Supporting strong. Nice to have you here. Is it true Asians worship Europeans? Just would like to hear your take. I don't think it's true. No. I think there's maybe a misconception maybe for when you go to Japan or so, you get the tatemai, which means they are very positive. And for example, when I came here for the first time to meet my wife, and then we went, before she went to Germany, we went to eat with their co-workers, and they were all, whatever I did, were like, he's so handsome, wow, and kakui and so on, so good looking and so on, or like very positive words. But that's just, yeah, tatemai. So it's not the true feeling, or it's not like all Europeans are great or so. That's just being polite. So that is maybe a misconception. How was it with Senpai? Asks Ede. So yesterday I met another YouTuber in Tokyo. It was nice. And we actually did a video well, in the beginning of last year. Hidden places in Shinjuku or something it's called. Very not successful. Was nice. Went to a pizza place, had 4 drinks each, and spent like $60 each. Aminox says, am I getting filtered out due to my foul tongue? Did I miss something? The last one I see is give Johannes free stuff, which I totally agree with. Tatemai equals the polite public mask. Yes, so the front of the building. And then in the back it's like the whatever. It may be beautiful, who knows, but maybe not. And you see this in Japan actually a lot. That's also the tatemai, so the entrance and so on, is super nice. Or maybe they have like a classic house thing or so. And then you look even above that and you see, oh, it's like this ugly concrete thing or something. Yang started with JavaScript and found that React is a pretty good framework. Are JavaScript developers in demand? I think so, yes. Especially React. I think React is probably the most popular one. And what I hear, I haven't used it, is that it's, yeah, well enforcing like separation of concerns also. Daniel, aka lying to your face. Yeah, not necessarily, but like overreact in a positive way. Somebody told Ede, Senpai is half of African. Really? I didn't know. Senpai, if you're here, are you half African? I don't know. I never asked him. Maybe, who knows? Maybe South African also. Yeah, today I met another YouTuber, Toby, from Mr. Nippon channel. He's also a nice guy. And so I mentioned, so Ede, who's here now in the live in the chat, he's a strong supporter of Flo from a channel called Ein Ticket zur Milchstraße, another German one. And with Flo, I also did a live stream once on his channel in German. For your information. Take the Japanese colleagues drinking to hear their honest opinions. Yeah, exactly. They then cannot do it so easily anymore, because then it will be blamed on the alcohol and no one loses face. Yes, I saw that. Are blockchain developers in demand in Japan right now? I don't know. Maybe. But Yeah, I don't know. So for me, I don't do market research. So it's essentially my my estimates on how in demand something is come from the job offers I get on LinkedIn, which are of course based on my niche, which is not blockchain. Okay, so we have done 120 now, 1 hour 20 minutes. Stabiler Junge, der Japanese, says Ede. Okay. That's hard to translate. So we've done 1 hour 20 or so now. Let's do 10 more minutes, then we're at 1:30, and then maybe I have to do some housework. Blockchain. So sometimes I'm wondering. We were once in the same building with a company that does some blockchain stuff. Or I don't know if they do blockchain but at least some crypto trading and so on. Yeah, but I can't really comment. But you can probably easily do some research online. Check LinkedIn, maybe message some recruiters or so, if they have anything. Daniel says, I do all of my software development work in Notepad and MS Paint. Do you think my skills are currently enough? That's a joke. I mean, Paint is of course a powerful tool. Lots of great artwork has been created with the software. And Notepad is, yeah, I don't know. Doesn't work on macOS, so. Happy wife, happy life. Exactly. For all you new people, Johannes, 10 minutes equals 45 normal minutes if an interesting topic arises. If it arises. We never know. Because right now it's so quiet in the chat, so chances do not look too good. Yesterday I left work so early at 4 or 5. I think I haven't done it in a long time. So I worked only like 7 hours or so. Unbelievable. Yeah, but probably I will do that more frequently now. He's saying we are boring and won't come up with an interesting topic. Entertain me, come on. Thought it would motivate intelligent questions. It's just the beginning for Tobias. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, he's doing fine, great, maybe. Who do you think is the real Satoshi Nakamoto? I have no idea. Also, I saw a video once who said it's this guy. And who knows, maybe it is, but does this change anything? I guess if he would be known to the public, then it would have an impact on Bitcoin. Probably drops a lot first, but... Are you an Asahi man or a Sapporo man? Actually, none of that. That reminds me, I recently bought a Weizen from Ehime. It's on Shikoku. And I haven't drunk it yet. Maybe I should do that later. Yeah, I don't like beer so much, but probably if it's one or the other, then it would be Sapporo. I hear it's better, personally. And that's why I always choose it, but I don't remember how Asahi tastes, so... Google has invested in the company I work for. Ooh. I've met with some of them to learn about the products. I do database stuff, so I have been learning BigQuery and other Google Cloud Platform products. Okay, I hope you have stocks in your company. By the way, one of my friends was contacted by a foreign company through LinkedIn that gave home some, him maybe, some freelance work. He was to debug some code, and once he did it, he never got paid. Have you ever heard of this? Not personally. I mean, didn't happen to me, but yeah, I can see that. If they don't have a contract or anything, or you don't even, I mean, I would at least take half in advance if you don't know the company. What do you think? How long would you need for the to get rid of the, or to get used to the, yeah, maybe to get rid of the jet lag and to get used to the time difference when you come to Japan from Europe? Depends. So for me, what's important is the second day, maybe the first, second, and second day. You shall not sleep when you're tired. You must be awake until the evening, and then it's kind of okay. It's still not completely gone, but then you're already in the rhythm of Japan, for me at least. And that's what I used to do. And right now, when I come to Japan, right now I don't go anywhere, but when I was in Germany in 2019 and came back, and previously, then I would always come back one day. Then the day after coming back, I would work, because that would force me into that. So come back, maybe then I would sleep, even if it's not evening, and then the next day I just force myself back into the rhythm, and then would be tired in the afternoon, but still stay awake, and then that's it, mostly. Like the heavy lifting is done. I still feel it then for a couple of days maybe, but I'm adapted enough then that I can enjoy Japan. So probably like that. Like if you're disciplined enough to not sleep on the second day, then 2 days. And if you are not disciplined and just sleep whenever you're tired, then it would take 2 weeks probably. Then he says, I do feel that my work experience is fairly narrow. A lot of places want full stack developers, which seems beyond me now. How would you expand your skill set if your job didn't require it to? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, probably it would be, if I would do that, then probably for some projects, like I want to release a certain thing and I need a server for that, and of course a front end. And then I would make an app, maybe Flutter or some cross-platform stuff, or a website, who knows, and some server implementation. But usually that's not on a professional level, really. So I don't know. Personally, I think full stack has its place if you're a startup or so. But really, usually you have the capacity the capacity to be good in one, maximum two platforms or technologies. So full stack, I think, is not. If you want quality, then it's not really appropriate. Or you have like a T-shape of your skill, right? You have one area where you're very skilled, and then you have a couple of areas where you can kind of maybe debug, but don't really know what's going on. Aminox says to Edef, fly from Europe so you arrive in Japan in the morning, sleep on the plane, and thus no reset is required. Yeah, there are flights. I think, at least from Munich, where I'm from, to Japan, relatively at night, like 9 p.m. or so. There you could sleep. Otho Elquara, welcome. Do you have any idea about DevOps jobs in Japan? Good question. I know, at least in my company, I think we're looking for DevOps generally. But that's of course not representative, so not sure. Have to. But yeah, at least some should be there. Yang says, was trying to type quickly and made errors. Anyway, appreciate your dedication. Yeah, no problem. And take your time, please. If you can sleep on a plane, Daniel knows he can't. Maybe if he had business class, where you can kind of lie down flat. Yeah, I know sleeping on a plane is always like, yeah, not the greatest. Yeah, business class. I've never flown business class. I was never. It's like 3 times the price or so, and it's like no. Do you ever hang out with Kathy Cat? She's also from Munich. No, never. I know she exists. I don't know if she knows I exist. I think I'm even subscribed to Ask Japanese, the one of the channels she hosts. Yeah, also L, I hope you land your dream job. Any hints of upcoming adventures or videos to look forward to? One will be a day in the life on a software developer Tokyo version, and the other one will be finding an abandoned Japanese castle. And after that, I'm not sure. I have a couple of ideas. One video I could not have shot if I were to go to Germany, because it can only be shot on January 15th, and I would have been in quarantine then. But maybe next year I will do it. Maybe. So that's coming. And then, as I said, if it works out well in the German channel with this kind of video style, then maybe I take this format also to Japanese Journey and make a little bit more frequent releases that are, I think, hopefully still fun to watch, but not as don't require me to do so much. Not so high effort. That sounds a little negative, but maybe you know what I mean. Almost out of water. Was this already 5 minutes? Do you still have some time left? I don't remember. I think not. Did I say 10 minutes? I did. Yeah. Okay, so I think then we call it a day, slowly but surely. Thanks for the donation, Aminox. Sorry for having the previous stream crash. And perfect timing. Aminox also has to leave. So yeah, let's see. Maybe we will have another one soon, another live stream. Not really sure yet if it works out next week. I'll probably go to Tokyo again and come back on Saturday. And I have to buy a suit because somebody's getting married. And that takes a lot of energy. Anyway, thank you all for your time tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. And then see you next time. And if you speak German, follow the German channel. If not, then please look out for new content on this one. All right. Then, as always, thank you for watching and see you